Well, welcome you folks. We're glad to have you with us. I'm Don Snow, and this is our Utah Valley Technology and Genealogy Group, our family history update class. This is Wednesday afternoon, the 17th of July of 2024. I'm in Provo, Utah, and Gerhard Roof, our host, is in Orem, Utah, which is fairly close to here to Provo. In case you can't tell, I've got a miserable cold. And so uh, I'll try and remember it. If I have to cough, I'll move the microphone so it doesn't sound so loud. Okay, this is our subject for today is using AI. That's AI is short for artificial intelligence to summarize a printed document. So if you have a printed document, an article from a magazine, could be a genealogy article, could be from a newspaper, it could be an obituary or whatever. The question is, how do you summarize that using artificial intelligence? And I'll illustrate it by using an article that I'm going to hold it up here. You won't be able to see it because it's so small on your screen, but this is an article that a friend here gave me here in Jamestown. He's a retired professor from BYU, and it's 20 pages long. And I thought, I wonder if there's a way I can summarize that using AI. And then, so I wouldn't have to read because my eyesight is so poor now. Reading is really difficult for me. And so I'm going to use that as an illustration. I've already done the whole conversion of this thing and even a summary on AI, but I'm going to walk you through how it does so that you can actually see what the steps are. And some of them you can shortcut, and others you'll have to use different programs, etc. Anyway, that's the subject for today. Now there are notes; they're online. There's a Gerhard has made a PDF of them, and that PDF is in the chat for if you're watching this on Zoom, which everybody can watch on Zoom. You don't have to be a member of our UV tag or anything else to watch on Zoom. And people may be watching on Facebook as well. Uh, by the way, if some of you are watching, wherever you're watching from, we'd be interested to know where you're watching from. It's always interesting for us to know where this is reaching to around the world or wherever. All right. So the link for my notes is down there at the bottom, and I'll show you what they look like more. This is what we're going to be talking about, and the details, and this is all in the notes. So you don't really need to write all this stuff down because they're in the notes. But if you find something that you're interested in, just note when we get to it what the topic is or something, and you can go back and find the details and more information about it in the notes. We're going to do a short review of what AI is. It's been around now for, well, it's actually been around for probably 20 or 30 years, but we only caught up with it about 2 years ago when ChatGPT came out. But all the other companies, the big ones, the Microsoft and Google and all the others are working on it too. And most of them have free versions as well as commercial versions. We'll talk just briefly about what it does. Then we're going to do scanning because you may have a scanner. They build them into printers now, but with your smartphone or your tablet, that works better for me. It's easier to use that as a scanner than it is to use my physical scanner that's built into the printer that I have here by my computer. And so I'll show you how I use my tablet, and you can use a tablet or a smartphone for it. And either iPhone or iPad or Android works fine. You may have to convert it to text because what you get may be a PDF. PDF is portable document format, and that's an image, that's a photograph of the page without the text itself. There's a text on there, and you see the text, but the computer doesn't know that that's text. All it knows is that there's an image there. I'll show you a program, and there are many of them that will convert the PDF directly to text because that's usually what you need for the free AI programs to actually summarize them. The commercial ones, the ones you pay for, most of those will handle a PDF itself, and you don't have to do this conversion first. Then we'll show how to copy the text in and summarize that with the free. Well, we just use one free AI program today, but there are dozens of them now that are out there, and there's dozens more that are commercial. And then we'll look at some conclusions. Now, the class notes are all on that same website. That's the same link that we saw a minute ago on the original screen, the title screen. And so all the details are there. Now, let me go in right now to those notes and show what's going on with those. Let's see if I do an Alt Tab. I should be able to get to, oh, let's see, that's the one for that's the notes themselves, but let me get to, let's see if I can, oh, my eyesight is so poor, I can't see what I'm doing here. Let me just click on, let's see if right there on Dawn's, there we go. This is what that, let's see, is this thing moved, or is this thing off the screen a little bit? I guess
the X on the right will get rid of the right side, Don.
The X on click that X. Oh,
not up there, not up there. It's down lower.
Which one are you looking for?
It lower.
I'm gonna have to turn the magnifier on. My poor macular degeneration eyesight is too bad. Let's see, where's the let's see, a Windows Plus turns it on. This will make it larger so that now I can see it. Okay, now which X are you talking about?
It's even with the top of the page there.
This one up here?
It's underneath your image.
So my image is covering it up. Oh, let me minimize that image. Let me get rid of that if I can find where that.
There it is. Lost it.
What did I click on? Did I click on the wrong thing?
Little higher. No, not there. Come lower. Well,
there,
it's right above
there.
your
Okay,
above
yeah. Now
picture.
I got the picture. My picture's turned off. Okay, now, oh, is this X down here the one you're talking about?
That's the X.
Click on that one.
That's
okay,
the one.
There we go. Okay, yeah. All right. Now let me turn off the magnifier so it doesn't annoy the rest of you. I have to turn that on so that I can see it. Now let me make this slightly larger by rolling the mouse wheel. Okay. Now these are the notes, the class notes, and down, if you scroll down just a little ways, there's classes coming up. This is today's date, the 17th of July of 2024. So it's item number 1 on here, and there's the link to the notes. By the way, if you'll notice, I'm now only going to teach classes every other month. Some of you are aware that I was in the hospital about 3 or 4 weeks ago with stress ulcers. And the doctor says you gotta slow down, you gotta cut out some of the stuff. So I'm going to do my accordion concerts only every even month, and classes every odd month. So that's why the next one is listed there for September, not for August. Okay, so there's the notes. Now, if you click on that, it's a link. If you click on that, then you'll get the actual notes that are this other. Well, I will click on it to change it right now to those notes. If I can see where that cursor is, right there. There we go. Here's the notes for today. And so these will always be online. It'll always link to this. So if you're watching this 6 months from now, this will have the link in it. So using AI to summarize a printed document. Now, in the notes, there's an abstract there, which gives the outline of what we're doing. There's an introduction, and there's my email address and the problem for today. And then here's some ideas. Here's a short review of AI. Now, let me just summarize right now by telling you what AI is. It stands for artificial intelligence, but as somebody pointed out, it's neither artificial nor is it intelligent. What it does is it compares it with, they call them also large language models. It sounds like it doesn't have anything to do with the same subject, but what they do is they compile all the books and articles, anything that's online in public domain, and form a big text file. And then when you type in a question with a certain character, certain words in it, they look in that big text file and say, oh, this word is associated with that subject and that thought. This word is associated with that, and so on. And then they have it set up so that it begins to write a narrative format for you. Because it doesn't know what it's doing, it may be totally unrelated to what you're after. And so and they all warn you, every one of them says, be sure you check this out before you accept it. And don't accept this for medical or legal or financial truth, because it may not be accurate. So you have to check it out. But that's what it does. It compares your search terms against the big database. Because of that, you can get all kinds of information from that, and you can get it to organize various things. And so if you've forgotten some things, if you're preparing a class, whether it's a Sunday school class or a family history class or whatever, you may be able to get some good organization and ideas of things that you may have forgotten about that subject. Either that or subject that's something that you didn't know before. So it's worthwhile checking out, and they're easy to, once you get going, it's easy to use it. There's a list there of 4 different websites that are free. These are the free ones. There are bunches more that are free, and there's bunches more that are commercial. Google's, they call theirs Gemini, and both the free and the paid version. Then let's see, Copilot, that's the name of the Microsoft one. ChatGPT is run by OpenAI, that's the name of the company, and Claude is run by the Claude organization. Now that's CLAUDE, and that's a new one that I only learned about last weekend when we had our UV Tag the Saturday meeting, and we had a speaker, Dallin Quas, who talked about that, and so I've been using that, trying that out since, and I like it. It's got good stuff in it. So that's a quick review of AI. The next item in here is scanning a printed document with a smartphone or a tablet. And I'm going to, well, I'll hold it up right now. You won't be able to see this because you're looking at my big screen, but in the small window, this is my tablet. It's an Android tablet. I have both an Android as well as an iPad, but I'm using the Android. This is one I got just a few months ago from Amazon, and it's got some nice features in it. I had to upgrade my Android tablet because the old one wasn't strong enough to copy the get the new versions of a bunch of programs on it. I'm going to show you in a minute what I do with it. There's a built-in camera in that, or in my smartphone. Also, this is my smartphone. It's an iPhone, and this iPhone also has a built-in camera, which is pretty good and can do the same sort of thing. So regardless of what kind of a phone or tablet you have, they all have cameras that are built in. And the new ones, of course, are better cameras. Once you scan that, with that, you photograph it, and I'll illustrate that here in a minute. It goes into your camera, and then it's in electronic form. And so once you have that electronic form, then that, depending on the format that's in, and it could be in PDF form, depending on how you scan it or what it does. It may be in a different format depending on what the thing is. I'll show you in a minute what mine does. Then you may have to convert that to text file. I'll illustrate that by actually using Evernote. That's the program that I use. That is there's both a free and a commercial version, and I've used the free version for a long time, and then started with the decided I wanted to use some of the features for the pay version, so I started subscribing to the pay version, and it cost me something like $125 a year, something like that. But I do my journal on it and a whole bunch of other stuff on it, so it's worth it for me. But you may have to convert that to a text file rather than the picture of the image, depending on which AI program you're using. The commercial AI programs will usually take even a PDF. That's an image file, even if it has not been, they call it OCR, which is optical character recognition, for the to recognize that this set of characters represents a word and so on. So I'll show you, there's a simple program that will do that, and it's listed in here to do that. It's called File Convert.
and it's free, it's online, and it'll cover all kinds of things from different formats. Then once you have that text file, you can put that into the AI program and say, summarize this, and put in the text, and it'll come back with a summary and so on. Hopefully we'll demonstrate that here in just a minute. And then there's some conclusions down here. Okay, now let me go back to the PowerPoint. Let's see if I can get back to the tab. And oh, I've got an alt tab. I think this was the PowerPoint. Yeah, there's the PowerPoint. These are the demos that I want to run through. Some of the AI websites, well, we've already essentially talked about some of those, and the links are in the notes there. And by the way, to use one of these AI places, nearly all of them require that you set up just a free account, but they want to know who it is that's using it, so that when you upload or download something, they know who's doing it. So most of them have a way to set up a free account. If you're using Gemini, which is Google's, and you have a Gmail account, that's already an account. If you're using Copilot, which is Microsoft's, if you're using Windows, you already have a Windows account, and that works. For OpenAI, I had to set one up because I didn't have an AI account. For Claude, I had to set up a separate account, but they're free. Then we're going to talk about scanning with a smartphone or a tablet, and then converting to text, and then summarizing it, and then some conclusions. All right, now let's go through and see if we can actually do some demos here by actually showing you how to do some of this stuff. We go back to the tab and go back to, oh gosh, I keep hitting that wrong. Let's see, this is, there we go. Okay, now here's the, okay. All right, now I've showed you this. I'll hold it up again. This article. This is an article. It'll be small, and the picture that you're looking at very small because you're seeing my screen here rather than and just a small picture of me. This is the article that Paul Cook, who's a instructional technologies, instructional psychologist from BYU. He's here lives here at Jamestown, which is an assisted living place where I do. He gave me a copy of this article. I think it's been about a month ago. And we talked about it, and I wanted to read it, but my reading is so poor, I can't read hard copy stuff anymore. So I scanned it. I pulled the staple out. I've since it's stapled again, but I pulled the staple out and then just put the pages down on a chair. I've got a folding chair here near my, where my desk is, that's got a darker colored bottom on it, so that if I put the paper on it, it shows that this is a rectangular piece of paper. Now I'm going to put it down on there, and you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to, hopefully this will work. I'm going to go to my tablet on Evernote, and let's see, Evernote is right. Where are you, Evernote? There you are. And this is Evernote. This is the program that I use. And it's got, I'll go into the inbox. I click on add a new note. And one of the options is a scan. It has a regular camera in it, but the scan opens up a camera that says, oh, this is a rectangular piece of paper. I think this must be a document. I'm going to try this and see if it works. I've got the whole thing done already. So if this doesn't work, it won't slow us up. Hit scan. Okay, now the camera is turned on. I'm holding it over the paper, but at an angle. It's not even at a straight line. Then maybe I'll do another one. Okay, now I'm going to click. You couldn't see that, but I held it over the page here, but at an angle. It wasn't even straight over there. I'm going to click save. Whoops, did I hit the wrong thing? I think I may have hit the wrong thing. Nope, I think I've got it. Okay, now I'm going to put the tablet down, and I'm going to go to on my computer, go to my Evernote file. Let's see, where is, I better, is this Evernote? No, I better get to it from here. Okay. Now this is inbox reference. Now that isn't the one. Let's see if I can click down here on notebooks and go to inbox. Okay. Now what's happened is because it's gone. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I'm gonna have to turn the magnifier back on. I probably shouldn't have tried to do this live. Let's see. Come on, come on. Let me go to notebooks. Let's see, where's inbox? Home. Shortcuts. Notes. Tasks. Files. Notebooks. Okay, and there's the inbox. Okay, now it says there's one picture, one item in here. Let's see what it is. Click on that. There's a snapshot. Yeah, there it is. Now this is kind of blurry. Let's see. I did a second one. Yeah, let me delete the first one because I did two. I held it over twice over the same thing, and sometimes I've noticed I'll cut that top one. Okay, now look at this. Now it said this is a rectangular piece of paper, and so that would photograph that whole thing in the same length of time. It sent that from my tablet down to San Jose, California, where their headquarters are, and back to Jamestown on my computer in that length of time. Now, when I did the whole thing, I did all 20 pages like this, and some were a little bit blurry, so I usually photograph two of them at a time, two times, and then delete the ones that are not good. Now here's that's an example of actually doing it. Now I've got one here in my notebooks. I call it the inbox reference. It should be here's inbox reference. This is the whole thing that I did a couple of weeks ago. Let's see. There's Paul Cook, and let's see if I look at, okay, here it is. Now there's the first page. I'm scrolling down, there's the second page. All 20 pages are on here by doing that. It's a wonderful way to scan it. And so now I've got all 20 pages here organized. And if some were blurry, I could redo those and paste those in where they belong to get them all organized. Now with that, I can right click, here's the title of it, and whichever program you're using, it will be something like this, but it will do the same sort of thing. I can do all kinds of things with that. I can open it in a new window or send it to an email or make a copy of it and so on. Down here toward the bottom, there's a thing about send it to export as a PDF. There's another export up here, and I don't know what that does because I've never tried that, but export as a PDF. If I click that to export as a PDF, it will take the whole thing, and it'll take just a second as it converts it to a PDF, and then it'll one thing after another, it will convert it. And I've already done that, so I'm not going to take time to do that, so I'm going to cancel that and then turn off this and show you what I've got. Okay, now over here on the, well, let's see, I'm going to have to close that. Over on the right side, I'm going to have to minimize this thing to make this as, let's see, what is this? This is, oh, that's the notes. Okay, I think we're done with the notes, so I can close that. But over on the right side, oh gosh, Garrett, I can't get to the right side of my screen. Let's see. Well, I was going to show you that I've got a copy of it over there. That's in both the PDF as well as the text file.
the next thing I did was I took that PDF and
The
copied
reason
it.
you can't get there, Don, is because you're in the PowerPoint.
I'm in the PowerPoint.
You were there. Yeah.
Well, can I make the PowerPoint a little bit smaller?
Can
I guess I
minimize
can't,
it.
can I? Because it's full screen. Let me see
Uh,
if I hit F11 to see what happens.
Windows D closes everything that's open.
Yeah,
Windows
that's a good
D.
idea. Yeah, Windows D. Okay. All right, now I can get over there. Okay, there. This is a copy of the PDF that I did with the whole thing, and then I took that PDF and copied that into. Now from here, I think I can get back to what I need to do. If I open up Chrome again, I've got a link to that file convert. Here it is right here. This file convert is a free program, and it will convert all kinds of things for all sorts of different directions on one thing after another. Let me turn off the magnifier so you're not annoyed with that. There's a way you can paste in here. It says, what do you want to convert? Do you want to do this, that, or the other thing? And I said, I want to convert this PDF to text. And so it said, what kind of text? And I said, docx text. And so it did. And you can pick up the file from any place on here. You notice it says from your device. I just said, okay, click from the device, found where it was. I'd saved it on the desktop. And as I did that, it then came back with the text file. All right, now, once you have that text file, then you go into, here's Claude. We click on Claude. This is Claude, and it welcomes me. Good afternoon, because I've set up a free account on it. It says, how can Claude help you today? Now, let's see if I can figure this out here. I'm going to say, summarize, ARSUMMARIZ, summarize this. Okay, and now there's a thing to drag someplace. Let's see, I've got to get, I need to get that, oh gosh, I can't get over there. Well, it's off the screen again now. I'd drag that thing over. It may still be on here because I did it again this afternoon to see what's here. Is it still here? I don't think it is. I don't think it is, and I can't get my. Well, anyway, let me see if I can. If I do the Windows D trick again, Windows D, and then copy. Well, I want to show you how fast this is if I can. It's this one down right here. If I just do a copy that, let's see this one. There it is. It's Paul Cook. There's Cook Paul. Is it on here? Convert file. No, it's not on here. That's not what I want. Well, I won't take time to do it because we're already, it's already almost 3:30. I just copied that thing. I did it this afternoon. I just copied drug the thing. When I could see the whole window, I just drug it from off of the window, the desktop into the program, into Convert, or into Claude. And after I'd said summarize this, and it was all 20 pages on there, it started almost immediately, and it said, oh, this was written by so and so, and the two authors here, and they were both professors at BYU, and they with their background, and they've done a lot of other work in this, that, and the other. And here's a summary of what this thing looked like. And it gave me about a 3-page summary of the whole article on there. And I actually got a copy of it, but I won't take time to show you the copy of it. But it was easy to do once I had it. Now, there's a bunch of steps here that you have to go through, a bunch of hoops to jump through. But if you have an article already, let me turn off the magnifier. Well, let me go back to Alt-Tab and get back to, let's see, I better turn off the magnifier here so that I can get back to
the Alt tab. Where is the, I think this was it. Yeah. If you have, once you've done it once or twice, then it becomes a lot easier to do. If you already have it in a text file from online from someplace, then you just copy that text and paste that into the program, and it will automatically generate the summary for you. So what we've looked at here is we summarized a document. We started from a hard copy of in this case, it was an article, a printed article, 20 pages long. We talked a little bit about what AI was, and it's compared, AI compares the search terms that you have against other things that are in its database. This whole paper may have been in the database because it's online somewhere in an academic journal. And so that may be included in the whole database. And so they may have already done a summary of this thing in the past. But it started almost immediately when I copied it in, of writing the summary as to about the authors and about what was in the paper, etc. I scanned it with a smartphone. Well, I did it with a tablet. I sometimes use a smartphone when I go to my church meetings because I can't read the program, the handwritten type program that they pass out. So I just photograph that and then can expand that on my tablet to read. We looked at how you convert that to text, and you may not have to convert it to text depending on what program you're using to do the scanning and so on. And then we summarized it with AI. You can ask all kinds of other questions. You can say things like, please show me what this would mean if I were only a 5-year-old child. And then you get an example of the stuff, a lot easier words and a lot easier to understand. And various other things that you could ask about. You could say, what other papers are related to this? Or what other papers have cited this article? And all kinds of different things that you can do with AI on it. Now with the conclusions, there's on the conclusions on that page on the general, the article that my notes. It's a little bit hard to get started, but once you do one, then you begin to understand what the others do. Start with something simple like Google's, because most of you have a Gmail account, and so that automatically uses your Gmail account for Gemini, and it's not the best AI one, but it's a good one to start with because it's simpler, or the Windows one, the Microsoft's Copilot, and try out a couple of things, experiment with it, until you get used to the idea of what it is, and then you can add other sorts of things. By the way, they call those things that you type in prompts. That's the input. It's called a prompt. And there are whole books now being written on prompt engineering, which means how do you rewrite those prompts so that you get the data you want, and just keep working with the prompt itself. Add a few more words and try it again, or if you want a different time period, like I was using it for my accordion concerts here, and I said it was February, the month of February, and I said I want to get a list of love songs. What are the top 10 love songs? And back came a list of 10 love songs with Taylor Swift and a bunch of new people, and I didn't even know what they were. I'm not that versed in the new stuff. So then I added the words top 10 love songs before 1960, and back came 10 songs that I did know, and so on. So you just keep working with it, changing the prompts so that you get better information closer to what you want. Be careful and don't put any personal information in. If you're converting from a PDF or something, or typing in to an AI thing, do not put in your own personal information, because it will go into the database. And so you could change the names or change the dates or something, so that you know who it is. And then when you get back the result, change the name back so that you know what it is. But don't put your personal data out there, because it's going to become personal. It's going to become public otherwise. Anyway, there's a lot of things that you can do and a lot of things that you can try. Now I see I'm a few minutes over time here, but do any of you have questions or comments or something we could answer quickly? And if you do, just unmute your mic and ask away. Or Gerhard, were there any questions on Facebook?
No questions or comments on Facebook.
Okay. Anybody have one on Zoom? And if you're having trouble raising it, just raise your hand so Gerhard will know that you're trying to ask a question, and he'll be able to get you in there. And if not, then we're okay. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful to you to give you at least an idea of what you can do with this. This is using AI to summarize a printed document. And I'm Don Snow, and Gerhard Roof is our host. And there's the date today, the 17th of July of 2024. And there's my email address on this one. And so if you're watching this 6 months from now and you want to ask me a question, I'll be glad to try and answer it later on. The notes are online. They'll always be on my website there where you can actually get to them later. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next month. No meeting next month, but 2 months from now.